coming on the heels of Jill Biden's breakfast taco remark, voters are frankly sick of the pandering from Democrats and the media alike. According to The Hill, Hispanic Democrats in Congress outnumber Hispanic Republicans 4-1. But right now we're seeing a new generation of Republican candidates all across the country. The National Republican Congressional Committee says it has recruited a total of 102 Hispanic candidates this cycle. Two of them are here with me tonight. Joining me now is Virginia congressional candidate Yesli Vega and Texas congressional candidate Cassy. Garcia, ladies, thanks for joining me. Yesli, I want to go to you first. So is this alignment real, which I think it is? And if Hispanics are moving from Democrat to Republican, why?
It absolutely is real. Look, this past November, we proudly delivered 54% of the Hispanic vote to Governor Youngkin. This is a movement, and there's nothing the liberal Democrat Party can do to stop this movement. While progressive activists were pushing to cut police budgets across the nation, guess who has felt the skyrocketing crimes in our community? Communities of color. We felt the impacts of it. We see the failed leadership coming from the Democrat Party, and we've had enough. We are rising to the occasion, and we're going to send a loud, resounding message this November that the Democrat Party is not entitled to our vote, that they don't represent our values, and that it is time now to restore our blessed republic.
You know, Cassy, I have a podcast with my wife. It's called From the Kitchen Table. She's a Latina. I have 12 little Latinos at home. The comment by Jill Biden in the taco comment was incredibly offensive. We talk about it on our podcast From the Kitchen Table. But do you have to talk about tacos and Hispanics when you can't talk about abortion, inflation, faith? You can't talk about school choice. You can't talk about the issues that really matter to the community. So you talk about tacos? Is that the deal?
Yeah. You know, Sean, thank you for having me on tonight. You know, Democrats want to control how we speak. We don't talk about pronouns. Like all Americans, we're worried about rising food prices and crime in our communities. The Democrats are so out of touch. They think Hispanics will vote for them if they talk to us about tacos and promote open borders. But those are not the values of South Texas. We believe in the American dream, God, strong borders, and opportunities for our families. I'm proud of my heritage. My family and the people in our community came to this great country to work hard, not to be dependent on the government. So every day I meet people who tell me they voted for Democrats for decades, but that is no longer their abuelos' Democratic Party. It's become too radical, elitist, and out of touch of our values.
Yeah, and to that point, we're going to talk about this a little bit later tonight, but the attack on the Catholic Church, on all churches, people of faith, is very real, and Democrats don't seem to give any pushback, any condemnation. And, you know, speaking broadly, the Hispanic community is a community of faith. Does that come into play, Yesli, as well as to why Democrats are losing the Hispanic vote?
It absolutely is, because we're seeing a double standard. I know that Cassy Maida has also felt the impacts of the bias that we receive, not just from the media, but from a Democrat Party that claims to support women and minorities. But the moment that they realize that you're a conservative woman, they no longer want to support you. And so we received pushback like never before. They're calling us fake Latinas. But listen, we're going to block out the noise because we know what the task ahead means. And it means that we're going to win. We're going to take back the House. Look, we continue to champion life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, while radical Democrats are more interested in forcing our sons to be daughters and our daughters to be sons. We are focused on the issues, and we're going to send a message this November that our vote is going to have to be earned.
Cassy, quickly, if you're talking to Kevin McCarthy, if you're talking to the Republican committee, what advice do you give them? If they want to win Latinas, if they want to win the Hispanic vote, what do they have to do?
So working with leadership right now, they are supporting our races here in South Texas with Maida, with Monica De La Cruz in 15, my race, and Yesli Vega over in Virginia. You know, the Biden policies are hurting the families of South Texas right now. The Biden border crisis, we talk about baby formula shortage and the energy crisis in our district, and we are going to see a red wave come this November. The Democrat Party has left the Hispanic community, and so we're going to see more Hispanics, more Democrat Hispanics vote Republican come this November. We are going to see a red tsunami take over like never before, and we are going to make history, and we're going to flip 3 seats in the Rio Grande Valley, and Virginia, and with Yesli Vega, is also going to win as well. And so we are going to make history. We believe in the American dream.
Ladies, I got to tell you what, I live with a Latina. Don't mess with Latinas because you will get the fire and brimstone coming at you. Good luck in your races, and thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're just getting started. Thank you.
All right. Yes, you are.